Are you looking for some fun, simple sensory activities to do with your baby? In this video, I'm going to show you 10 easy do-it-yourself activities that you can do at home with your little one. If you're new to my channel, my name's Jess. I'm a former early childhood teacher as well as a mom to a 9-month-old little boy named Luke. Here on The Innovative Mama, you'll find ideas and tips for little ones, so please be sure to click that subscribe button if you're interested in seeing these types of videos. Also, make sure to click that notification bell so that you're always notified when I upload new videos, and give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. So let's get into our 10 sensory activities for babies. The first activity we have is no mess bubble wrap painting. To set this up, I cut the corner of a bubble wrap pouch, then sealed the one side with duct tape. I then dropped the colors into the pouch a little spread out and sealed the last side before taping it down to Luke's high chair. Babies can have fun watching the paint smear around the bubble wrap while also feeling the bubbles and popping them if they understand how to. Luke really didn't understand what was going on, so my husband and I were trying our best to show him. He was definitely trying to rip the pouch off of his high chair, but overall I think he enjoyed feeling the bubble wrap. I'll definitely be trying this activity again in the future, and I love how easy the cleanup is. So next I'm going to be showing you two different types of pull boxes. So the first one is a pipe cleaner pull box. So we just took a smaller cardboard box and spray painted it. And next you can see my husband is poking random holes around the box with a pair of scissors. I then took some pipe cleaners and threaded them through the box in different ways. Then folded the ends over so the pointy metal point wouldn't be exposed. And next I put some tape around the knotted part in order to prevent the pipe cleaner from being completely pulled through the hole. And we just continued to do this in different ways until all of the holes were filled. Luke definitely liked experimenting with the box and feeling the pipe cleaners. He's been doing really well with his pincer grasp, which is when babies use their thumb and index finger to grab an item. So he's been really liking picking up and grabbing at smaller items. The next type of pull box is a fabric pull box. This is the reusable wipe container I used in my 9 to 12 month activity video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it above and in the description box below. So I ordered these 8x8 fabric squares from Amazon that I'll link down in the description box. You can use any type of fabric. I just liked these because they were all different patterns and colors. I just stuffed them in the container and pulled some through the opening a little so Luke could see them, then showed him how to pull them from the box. He loved pulling them out and he was happy just whipping the fabric around in the air, as you can see. So next up we have sensory bottles. So these are super versatile and really fun to make. So here I'm just showing all the supplies I have laid out on my kitchen island. I have these little pony beads, which are those little plastic colorful beads. I have some sequins here of all different colors, some different colors of glitter. These are those water beads that you place in water and they get really big and they're like super bouncy. So obviously if you're doing this with babies, you just have to be careful because they do go everywhere. Next, I have 2 bottles filled with water and 2 empty. I got these from Amazon. You can also use the Voss water bottles. Those are really good because they have the wide opening at the top. Then I have some food coloring. This is some vegetable glycerin. And then I have some pipe cleaners at the end too. I will link all the stuff that I got down below in the description box. Everything was from Amazon, but you can easily find everything also at a craft store. So the first bottle I'm gonna make is just going to have pipe cleaners in it with no liquid. So I'm just gonna take a bunch of different color pipe cleaners and cut them up and then place them in the water bottle. So this is just going to serve as a visual sensory bottle so the babies can watch the pipe cleaners move around and observe all the different colors. I also ordered these little craft shells from Amazon and just put them in one of the bottles as a sound bottle. And Luke really loved this one. I did this the day before filming this, and he really loved the sound that it was making, and he was shaking it like crazy. So for this next bottle, I just went ahead and took some pony beads and poured them in to fill up the bottle for a sound bottle. You can use whatever you want. I just like using the beads because they have the colors too, which is fun. Next, I just took one of the bottles filled with water and 3 different shades of blue sequins, and I put 3 drops of blue food coloring and then dumped a little bit of each of the colors of sequins in. And then I didn't have any blue glitter, so I added some gold and silver glitter to the bottle. And then I went ahead and took some of the vegetable glycerin and added a few drops. I'm pretty sure the more that you put in here, the slower that the objects will move around. I would definitely recommend hot gluing the tops, especially for the bottles that have liquids in them. So here you can see my husband just took the hot glue and put it around the rim of the lid and then screwed it on top of the bottle. I just put some of those water beads in this bottle without any water in it. They're really fun because you could watch they jiggle when you shake them, so that's really fun for baby to look at, and along with all the different colors. Then the next bottle I just left clear and put a bunch of different colors, sequins, and glitter in there. So you can make these however you want, put whatever you want in them, just experiment and see what baby likes. The next activity is super easy. You just place some water beads in a Ziploc bag and tape it to a window. The light coming through the window looks really cool and they feel really awesome. Luke really liked this activity. Just a word of caution, be really careful with these water beads. When I went to rip off the tape after this activity, I made a hole in the bag and they went everywhere, so definitely be careful. Next up, we have an edible kinetic sand activity. This was really easy and fun. I just used 2 ingredients, which were baby cereal and coconut oil. So I started off using 1 cup of baby cereal and 3 tablespoons of oil, but as you'll see, while I was mixing it, the sand still didn't have a good consistency. So I went ahead and added 3 more tablespoons to make it a little more cohesive. You obviously can play around with the measurements to your liking. However, that was just the measurement that I found that I liked. I also use baby oatmeal instead of rice cereal, so I'm not sure if the type of cereal you use makes a difference when it comes to measurements. And then I just went ahead and mashed it all together with my hands. Luke really liked this activity. He did try and eat the sand at one point, but he spit it out. I definitely recommend doing this outside if you can because it definitely got really messy. But this activity is really great for baby exploring their sense of touch, and the texture of the sand is really different for them. If your child likes Lift the Flap books, then they're going to love these sensory windows. So we actually just saved the lids from some packages of wipes to use as the windows. My husband cut out a piece of cardboard and then covered it with some white cardstock. He then put a pencil mark where he wanted to place each of the little windows and cut his materials to the size of the windows before gluing them down. You'll want to pick different textures to place under the little flaps. We chose to use a towel, tin foil, fine grit sandpaper, duct tape, the sticky side up, felt, and one of those rubber liners from our kitchen drawer, actually. Luke is obsessed with Lift the Flap books and Touch and Feel books, so I was pretty confident he would love this activity, and he definitely did. Not only is this a great sensory activity, but you could also make this a simple memory game or even a tool for learning colors for toddlers. This activity also helps to strengthen fine motor skills as baby opens and closes the flaps. Next up, we have this edible Jello Play-Doh recipe. I will link the recipe I used in the description box below, but the ingredients were sugar-free Jello, salt, flour, cream of tartar, boiling water, and cooking oil. It was super easy and fast to make it, and I love that it has a fruity smell to it because of the Jello. My little guy definitely wasn't too sure what to do with this at first. He was dropping some on the floor and sticking his fingers in it. He did try and eat it at one point, as he does everything, so that's why I wanted to make sure a lot of the activities were edible, just in case they wound up in baby's mouth. If your baby isn't quite sure about an activity when it's first introduced, definitely try it again at a later time. I went back and tried a lot of these activities again with Luke after I filmed, and he was much more engaged with them the second time around. So next up, we have these smelling jars, which were really awesome. I just grabbed a couple of mason jars, but you can use anything you like. We just put some holes in the lids. My husband did this in 2 ways. He actually has a metal hole punch, which wound up being the best option. However, I understand not everyone has this tool, so you can use a drill. If you do choose to use a drill, just be really careful, because when you pull the drill out, it could cause some parts of the metal to be a little jagged and stick out. So make sure they're really, really smooth before handing them over to baby. We took a piece of sandpaper and went over the holes, which definitely helped. And also just be sure to wash out the jars after this step to ensure all the little pieces of metal are removed from the jar. We absolutely loved doing this activity with Luke. Once he understood that he was supposed to smell the jars, it was so funny to watch his reactions. You can put whatever items you'd like that have a stronger smell. We did ground coffee, lavender, and peppermint essential oils on cotton balls and an orange wedge. Luke definitely wasn't a fan of the coffee. He'd push it away every time, and I think he liked the peppermint the best. So the last activity we have is edible finger painting. This was really fun and simple, but on the messier side, so I definitely recommend doing it outside. I mixed 1/4 cup of baby cereal and 1/2 cup of water together, and then added 3 drops of food coloring. I chose to do 3 colors. You could do as many as you want. Again, you can play around with the measurements to get a consistency that you like. We had a lot of fun with this activity. Luke seemed to be a fan of the consistency of the paint and loved smearing it around his high chair tray. So there you have it, 10 easy do-it-yourself sensory activities that you can do with your little one. Have you tried any of these activities? Let me know in the comments below if you have, or if you have another sensory activity that I didn't mention that you love. If you found this video helpful, then please hit that thumbs up button below, and don't forget to subscribe for more baby tips and activities. Also, be sure to check out my website at theinnovativemama.com for even more content. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.